Hello, lovely bloomers. Welcome back. I am Luna, the founder of Vegan Bloomers. Thank you for joining us. We are here to inspire, connect, and learn. And our lovely star vegan for this time is Angela. So, welcome, Angela. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You doing okay?
I'm doing fantastic. I can't
Awesome.
complain.
Good, good. That's what we like to hear. So let's begin with where are you based, how old you are, and just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am in Brooklyn, New York. I'm grown and I am I guess, CEO, founder, journalist, content creator of Vegan Pop Eats, where we are changing the perception of veganism through conversation, cuisine, and conscious living. And I just want people to have a different thought process about living and being vegan because it's lit over here on the green side.
That sounds very exciting. I was going to ask what your company was, so I'm glad you shared with us. There'll be a chance later on to do a little plug for that. So, yeah, like tell us like who are you? Like what hobbies do you have? Like how do you like to spend your time outside of work?
Well, I really like to I'm motivated to becoming the best person that I could be. So I've started hot yoga. I've really been paying attention to how I'm showing up in the world intentionally and focused. Um, I don't really have hobbies because I like to do so many different things.
Yeah.
Right now I'm obsessed. I'm doing the 75 hard challenge where, for 75 days you work out twice a day, you concentrate on reading or listening to audiobooks that's going to improve yourself. I like being with my friends. I really don't have hobbies because I really can't say that my life is good.
Nice. That sounds awesome. I haven't actually heard of this 75 challenge. I'm gonna have to look into that now. That sounds right up my
Yes.
street. I had this cool app once called Blinkist.
Uh-huh.
And for about a year, I would listen to like a summary of a book every single day for like 15, 20 minutes. And that
Oh,
was really
dope.
awesome. So it sounds similar like to your kind of jam. So let's get on to like your vegan journey. Tell us, when did you start being vegan? Like how did you get there?
Well, I've been a vegan for 9 years. I started because my mom had gotten breast cancer. And
Oh,
when she became sick, it was like a trigger to say, I mean, I felt like it was the food because before that you know, I was eating a lot of fast food, but not a lot of fast food because I did eat, home cooked meals and things of that nature. But for the most part, McDonald's knew my name, Chick-fil-A knew my name, Waffle House, Cookout, all of these spaces knew my name.
yeah.
And when she got sick, the first thing that popped up in my mind was it was the food. So I started on my journey. I became vegetarian. And the way that I did that was each month I would take away a food group. So I never really was a steak person, but I did like hamburgers.
Okay.
So the first thing I got rid of was red meat because I had saw I think it was on Dr. Oz when he was, had his show. He was saying like with red meat, it takes 30 days to leave your body, so it rots inside your body and then it leaves. And so I was like, "Oh, let me get rid of, the red meat." And then after that, then it was red meat, then chicken. So it would be 30 days red meat, 30 days chicken, 60 days red meat. And so each 30 days I would add on to it until the last thing that was hard for me to give up really was seafood because I loved eating mussels, lobsters, oysters, shrimp, crabs. I just love like seafood. And dairy wasn't so hard, but that's how I decided that that was going to be my journey. And then when I decided to jump all the way in, it was for Veganuary, which started over in the UK, where you do 30 days without any kind of animal products. And once the 30 days was over, I just kept going.
Nice.
I just kept going. And it's been the best thing for me because um I am a journalist, and when I first started, it was like, oh, I wanted to do red carpets. I wanted to talk about pop culture. I am well versed in pop culture because I'm just nosy. So I keep up on the latest on whatever is going on, and I realize that there aren't any like true vegan journalists. Like whenever you see them on TV, they're like, oh, you know, during January, they'll pop out and they'll talk about veganism and being one of the lifestyle changes people do every year, or it's, you know, a meatless Monday situation, but they never really talk about the whole lifestyle as a whole.
Yeah,
And our lifestyle is the same as people who eat meat. We just don't have any suffering
yeah,
and the things that we do. And I believe you can have luxury without suffering to yourself, the planet, or animals. So my goal is to show you how lit it is to be over here on the green side by showing you lifestyle, showing you cuisine, showing you skincare, beauty products, and letting you know that, you know, health is your only currency. So it's best for you to, you know, feed your body the best things that you possibly can. And I'm not an advocate to say that veganism is the only lifestyle that can bring about those types of changes. But for me and the changes that I've seen in my life and changes that I've seen in other people who have crossed over, I feel like it's the best choice for me.
yeah, that makes sense. It's definitely, it's all about your being, your journey, We can't push anyone to do anything they don't want to. Like it is something that has to be on their own terms, as much
Right.
as it would be amazing if the whole world were vegan, obviously, but
Oh, yeah. So
yeah,
I believe sooner or later you ain't gonna have no choice. But you
yeah.
know, that's a
I
whole
sure
nother
hope so.
conversation.
Sure hope so. So when you turned this to this new transition, like how did your people, your circle react?
Well, I've never been a person that needed a cosigner with whatever I had to do or whatever I wanted to do. I'm the only vegan in my family.
Mm.
I had all my majority of my friends are whole food eaters. You know, a couple of them are vegan, some of them are just pescatarians and things of that nature. But you know, some of them, you know, when I first became vegan, they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna be vegan too," and then it'll be like, "Oh." You know, after a year, let me just go ahead and go back to where I came from.
Yeah.
But I never force that on anyone. But they do know that if I'm bringing any kind of food, it's vegan. They do know if we're going out to eat, it's vegan because I hardly ever really frequent any um restaurants that aren't vegan. Not to say that I wouldn't go, but for me, just to, you know, I guess feel comfortable, I rather know
That
that the
everything
space
is
that we're
cold
in.
sourced.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Because people
I
treat vegan food like an afterthought in
yeah.
other restaurants.
Yeah, that's so true. I have a rule that like for me, like I do still support other ones because I feel quite strongly that we need to show that there's a demand for it. But I do have
Mhm.
a rule for me when I do go out to eat, like there has to be a minimum of three options, like full options. Otherwise, I'm not going there because to me, that's like three is a choice. Anything less than that is not a choice. It's just an afterthought. Like, and I don't appreciate companies and like businesses that would be like, oh well, we can just make you something because it's not the same. Like I don't
Right.
feel like they're advocating for our needs. So yeah, I hear you on that. And unfortunately, where I am, there's not very many completely plant-based. Like where I live now, there's
So
no
you just have
fully
to cook a
vegan.
lot.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I love to go out to eat, but yeah, I do. I just cook mostly for myself, and occasionally I'll go somewhere. Um, yeah, so I like that. That's a nice little take. Like you're just like, no, if we're going out for a meal, we're going to a vegan place, and if you're cool with that, then come with me. If not, then okay, whatever. That's
But
quite
everyone is cool with it because what I want people to understand is vegan food is regular food.
yeah.
It's not where we decided that this is a vegetable you never heard of, because there's so many times that I see people or speak to people and they'll be like, "Oh, I've never had vegan food before. This is so
I know.
good." And I'm like, really? You never had a French fry? You never had a potato?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
never
that
had
makes
an
me laugh.
apple? You
I
know, and then
like
they're just like, oh, they don't put two and two together.
no,
And that's what I want people to really understand and have an open mind about. The
yeah,
only difference is we do not have suffering in order to get the food and nutrients that we need.
yeah,
And plants are medicinal. Like people, like with the doctors, they're now coming out and saying that, yo, we don't even get the proper education about healing foods.
yeah,
We get education to keep you on medicine,
that's
for
true.
you
And
to be
even
on medicine.
yeah, and even like doctors, like they don't get the. I was having this conversation the other day with somebody that, doctors don't even get trained about nutrition. They have like
No. They get like a couple of
2 hours.
hours.
Yeah, in the whole of their medicinal, and then people think they're experts, and I'm like,
And
how is this a thing? Like, it's so wrong.
right, you go to school for what, 8 years or something like that, and you only get maybe 40 hours of food
Yeah,
education. That's insane.
it is.
But
It's
they
crazy.
they put you on medicine, and what people don't understand about medicine is this: if you have a headache and I give you medicine, that should take care of the headache. But what happens is they give you the medicine for the headache, then they give you the medicine for the side effects for the medicine that they give you for the headache, and then they give you medicine for the side effects to
Yeah,
help you with the medicine. So you're sitting there with four bottles for one issue.
problem. Yeah,
So I would rather get my medicine through food. I would rather take care of my body enough where I don't have to be sitting up in a doctor's office talking about nothing,
yeah.
because the trust is not there. But fortunately, where I live at in Brooklyn or in New York, the mayor, he allotted money for doctors to go back to school to get plant education.
Oh, that's amazing.
And so with that being said, and then he also made it possible for, the lunches at school to be vegan and plant-based and all these different things, because I'm not going to say that veganism is the end all be all, because we got vegan junk food, we got vegan processed food.
Yeah, of course.
If it's not from the ground, you put it down. That's what I tell people to adhere to, because I can eat processed vegan food all day, chicken nuggets, hot dogs, pizza, and all that other stuff, and it will still affect my body the same way if I was going to eat regular processed foods. And that's where people get it twisted, and they'll say, "Oh, veganism is not healthy."
Yeah,
It's healthy if you do whole foods.
yeah, whole foods. Yeah,
Whole
definitely.
foods. So that's what my goal is to make people understand that, you can have the things that you need without causing any suffering to, yourself, the planet, or animals.
Yeah. So talking about the suffering, because you've mentioned it a lot, like where in your journey did that kind of like alignment take place where you suddenly was like, this is messed up?
Well, for me, I am not an animal activist, but I understand what animal activists go through or what their thought process is. I am not an environmental activist, but I understand that, because once you get people come over three ways. They come through animals, they come through environment, and they come through health. And so for me, being in this space, I learn about the other two.
Yeah.
So I can't help but to, incorporate those things into my lifestyle. But my path was about health,
Yeah, it
because
started from
health
health.
is the only currency that you have.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have health, you can't do all the other different things. So for me, and especially for my community where, there's a lot of diabetes, there's high blood pressure, there's, other kind of diseases that if they would change their food, it would lessen it, or it might even, cure it. Excuse me, cure it. So that has always been my focus, because, you know, if I have that currency, then I can worry about, other different things. And
Yeah.
then,
And
you
the rest is the
know,
bonus.
right. And I feel that I'm more comfortable operating in that space versus as an animal activist or
Yeah.
as an animal activist, because the animal activists for me feel like it's very I'll say it like this: veganism as a whole needs a new PR person, because the old school vegans are very, set in their ways. They're very judgmental. They're very like, oh, if you don't come through it this way, we don't want to, deal with it. Or they're not forgiving for each person's journey, because not everyone could jump out the window and give up meat or
Yeah.
dairy or, red meat. But if they're doing a meatless Monday, a meatless month, a meatless meal, I'm good, because baby steps equal bigger or larger steps.
Yeah, for sure, can do.
And so for me, I don't, with, certain aspects of the vegan lifestyle as a whole, because like I said, everyone comes in through this, you know, the bottom line is that we should be welcoming, because if we're wanting people to cross over, we need to allow room for them to grow into this space.
Yeah, we need to give compassion all the way through, don't we? I mean,
Exactly.
I think though that it's important, like especially for my channel, like I there's a lot of you mentioned about, people come to the path through whether it's ethical reasons for animals, through the planet or through health. Like I do feel very strongly that it's important to share the message that veganism itself is all about ethicalness. And like for me, like I think it's great. Like if you're not eating animals, then hats off to everybody, in my opinion. But I do think it's very important that people understand, and like this is part of my channel to kind of like educate everyone to learn what veganism really is. Because yes, there are all of these other positive factors, but the word veganism itself is a lifestyle, as you said. Like, and it does come from the suffering of animals, and all the rest is like, yeah, it's awesome that it comes with that. But yeah, I feel like it's important that we distinguish that as well,
Yeah.
for sure. So, growing up, did you have any like animal companions in your life?
Yeah, I had dogs. I mean, fish. Like, I've had animals in my life. Um, but I don't have an animal right now. Excuse me, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
touch my nose. I
It's
don't
all right,
have
you're in the room.
I don't have animals in my life right now, because I'm never home. And to have an animal for me is like having a child.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Especially if you had a dog, you have to, cats. I like, my favorite animal is a cat. Like,
Yeah,
if I would get an animal, it would probably be a cat, because it doesn't need as much nurturing. It doesn't need as much, um, uh,
for you to
I
be there
guess,
all the time.
yeah. And it's
Yeah,
shady, and I like shady things.
yeah. That's an interesting describing word for a cat, shady. I like
I
that.
love
Is
shady. I
it?
love shady. That's like my favorite. That's my favorite characteristic. But
Nice.
I've had animals in my life. I do enjoy having animals, but at the same time, I'm also aware of what the responsibility is
Yeah,
to
of
have
course.
animals.
So yeah, you
So
must be out a lot with your kind of work.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
out, and then, I don't have any children, so it's like, okay, am I ready to have that type of responsibility?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. I like your thinking. We're on the same page there. So I don't have animal companions anymore, and I don't want children either, really. So I'm in the impression of like if an animal maybe walked into my life, I'm not gonna just let them be
Exactly.
homeless. But yeah, I'm not going to go searching for one because yeah, if they're going to be here. I mean, I have a little companion in my house currently, a little mouse, a wild mouse from the garden has been making himself home in my house. He's currently under my sofa. So that's my little animal companion story at the moment. I've named him Quincy. So that's quite cute. He came out this morning. My partner woke up and he heard rustling and he was like, Luna, Luna. And I woke up like, what? And he's like, listen. And I'm just like, what the hell is that? And then we saw the mouse just like jump out of my bin. It was quite funny.
Oh my
It's very
gosh.
loud for a tiny little thing.
Oh wow.
So yeah, that's one. Have you had any like little special bonds with any of your animal companions in the past that you want to share?
I mean, when I was growing up, I had a dog named Fida, and I loved Fida. Like Fida was lit, but uh that was the last time that I really had like I guess a relationship with an animal because after that it was like I was always moving. I'm a military brat, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like something that was on the radar to, have. So but I respect it. Like if I see a dog out or something like that, like I said, I understand why people are attracted to animals.
Yeah.
I do. But for me in my ministry, that's not something that's in my life right now. And it's not something that I, deal with on a day-to-day basis, but I do recognize and respect people who are into, animal living.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. So let's talk a bit more about food, seeing as that's the thing you're very passionate about. What is your go-to meal?
Ooh, like what I love a good chickpea sandwich because when I was growing up I loved tuna fish. So
Okay.
I'll make that. I love a buffalo chickpea situation where I'll put it with some blue cheese and some, kale and cucumbers. But right now I am obsessed with a cucumber tofu salad where it's cucumbers, carrots, red onions, scallions, seaweed. Like I love seaweed, fried tofu, and I mix it up with a little bit of mayonnaise, a little bit of cream cheese, and it's fire. It's
That
fire.
sounds quite good. I might have to give that a go.
It's super fire.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I it really whatever suits me, whatever I have a inkling for. I don't really have a go to because um my palate is ever changing.
Yeah.
Like yesterday I was craving lentils.
Yeah.
So I had lentils which I had made with coconut milk, seasonings and stuff like that because I tried to meal prep each week because even though I am not a chef, I can feed you. That's not my passion.
Yeah.
Because what I realize when people want to talk to me or they're, wanting me on their show, everyone wants to talk about food.
Yeah.
Everyone's and when you see a lot of the vegan content creators, all of their content is, oh, let me feed
Show
you,
you
let me
some
feed
food.
you, let
Yeah.
me feed you, let me feed you. And I'm just like, that's cool, but let's talk about something else.
Yeah.
But I learned how to cook and I cook very well. I learned how to cook because, going out all the time is too expensive.
Yeah, of course.
And two, I want to know what I'm eating. I want to feel comfortable with what's going to be on my plate.
Yeah.
And um I like meal prepping because every week I don't have to do that much because I hate washing dishes. And I have a
I feel
dishwasher
ya.
in and I have a dishwasher. I hate washing dishes. Like I'm believing that in my future that I will have someone who likes to wash dishes, someone who likes to clean the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what my goal is. Like
Love that.
that's an act of service
Yeah, for
for
sure.
my partner. If he wants, yes, yes, yes.
Please take it off my hands.
Please, I'll cook all day long. Please don't make me wash dishes. Like every morning, like I'm doing better because like I said, I do have a dishwasher, but I will put a dish in a sink and I'll deal with it tomorrow. Like
Yeah.
it's so off the chain. Like every morning when I see it, I'll be like, Angela, this is so off the chain.
And
Like
then
I
the
say it
pile
to
gets
myself
bigger.
every day, because it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. You have a dishwasher, Angela. You just have to load it up. But it's still a chore. It's still a chore. So I'm just like, meal prep on Sundays, and I'll eat on that all week. I'll do different combinations. I might add a salad to the stuff that I have, be a topping on that or whatever the case may be. But yeah, but I love food. I am a foodie. Like I will go and find something to eat.
Yeah,
I
for
will,
sure.
but
So,
cooking.
um, speaking of like you mentioned about going out to eat in your area, have you got a favorite restaurant?
Oh yes, I have Urban Vegan Kitchen. I have Spicy Moon. I have I like a Nixie. I love Avant Garden. Like I'm blessed where I live because New York is a culinary vegan space.
Yeah,
So any kind of food that I want, I can get it vegan.
yeah,
I can get it vegan, but I'm very like I'm not into the processed meats like that. Like I'm not eating I don't eat a whole bunch of soy. The most soy that I eat is maybe tofu, and I might
yeah,
eat tofu maybe once or twice a week, if that much.
yeah,
I really try not to load myself up with a bunch of soy or tempeh and stuff like that. I like the fresh foods and
yeah,
the beans and all that other stuff. That's more my speed. But if I get an inkling for like a chicken salad, it's going to be tofu
yeah. That
that I
makes
make
sense.
now that I know how to cook it. Because
Yeah.
before I wasn't even a fan of tofu. I was just like, eh.
Yeah, it's a bit of an acquired taste, isn't it? Like the first time I ever had it, it was like really, really nice. And then the second time I had it, it was like the most disgusting thing I've ever had in my life. And then
Right,
I just stayed the hell away from it for a really long time. And then
right.
I saw one, I'm like, I'm gonna give it I'm gonna give it another go. And then I really liked it and now I love tofu. But I don't cook
Yeah.
it very often either, actually. But yeah, I am like guilty of like processed stuff. Like I'm trying to get off of it. My partner definitely helps because he's very much like Luna, healthy food, and he doesn't like the fake meat stuff. So when he comes to
Right.
visit, like it's my incentive, which is really helpful. So I'm slowly trying to get off of it, and it's yeah, it's a journey for sure.
I
But I
get it.
love when I get it right. Like I love Whole Foods. Like it's so nice. So yeah, I feel you on there.
Yeah, because I just like if you came to my house, you wouldn't. Mm-mm. If you do see a chicken nugget in there, it was because it was late at night and I wanted something quick, and
Yeah.
my grocery was open and I wanted something just I could pop into the air fryer.
See,
But for the most
my thing
part,
is like fake sausages. Like that's the
oh,
one thing I want. Like, and
field
I
roast is the best ones
the
if you
which
have it
one?
out there. Field roast,
No,
FIELD roast.
we don't have that.
What do y'all
No.
have? Beyond Meat?
We have Beyond Meat, yep. My go-to is a company called Richmond's. Sadly, it's obviously not vegan, but
Okay.
they're probably my favorite, I would say. And then Beyond sausages are second, but they're very expensive here, so I only buy them when they're offer.
Oh, it's expensive.
Yeah,
That's why I tell people, if you think veganism is expensive, it's because you're buying a
it's
whole
the
bunch of
process.
processed meat.
Yeah, literally, it is. Yeah.
But Beyond has changed I think their formula. They just dropped some sausages that are really clean.
Oh,
Like
okay.
they're almost like field roast. Because my favorite brands, if I'm going to do process, it's Abbott's
Yeah.
and it is field roast because they only use limited ingredients.
Oh,
Like
okay. Good to know.
if it has a whole bunch of ingredients in it, I don't want it. Even with the plant milks. The plant milks, it can only have 3 ingredients for me.
Yeah.
If it has more than that, I won't do it. Like silk, I don't buy silk. But when
So
I
do you
first
make your
started,
own?
huh?
You make your own?
I can make my own, but for the most part, I do Elmhurst, I do Malk, I do Three Trees, and there's another one. And then if I'm going to have soy milk, it can only have soy milk. It can't
Yeah.
have any other ingredients unless it's a flavored like a vanilla. So
Yeah.
it can have vanilla, almonds, water. It
Yeah.
can't have anything else in it, else I won't drink it.
Yeah. That makes sense. That's good for all to go by. I wonder whether actually how many I'm gonna have to when I go shopping after this, I'm gonna have to look and
Oh,
see
you'll see them.
how
It's
many that
silk,
have got. Oh,
silk, and
we
it's
don't have those brands here.
SILK.
Yeah, we don't have that one.
Okay.
I have had it though, because that's the
Yeah,
one I
silk.
used to live in America for like a year and a half,
Oh,
and so
really?
I have had silk before. I'm gonna go on a mission today, and I'm gonna see how many actually just have three ingredients in.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
interesting.
Khalifa, I don't know if that's out there. Khalifa Farms, I think that's what it is. They have two types. Like they have their one where it's a whole bunch of ingredients, and then now they've launched Khalifa 3 and Khalifa 4. And those
Okay.
only have four ingredients. Those only have three ingredients.
Oh, that's
And
good.
those are the cleanest like plant milks, other than you making it yourself.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's good. Yeah, it's good to know. Nice little tip there. Three
Hmm.
ingredients only. I don't know. I don't buy mine from the shop. I buy it from a website. So there's a company called Moyom, which is
Okay.
like it's meant to be better, but it comes in little sachets, like a little liquid sachet, and then you mix it with water, and it's better for you than all the stuff you buy in the shops, as far as I know. So,
No.
yeah, and it's ha very handy because I don't drink a lot of milk at all. So it gives me like 500 mils, and that'll do me for ages sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Unless my partner's around, and then it's gone in a second because he loves milk. But yeah, that's funny.
Where
Um,
did you live in America?
I lived in Minnesota, Texas, and New Jersey.
New
So I got around.
Yes.
Yeah,
What
I
were you
loved it.
doing here? You just wanted to live here?
I was an au pair. So
Oh, dope.
I always wanted when I was younger, like I grew up always saying like I'm an American heart a person, like I belong in America. And I totally am right. I totally did belong in America and I miss it a lot. But I had my visa ran out and it was too hard for me to try and figure out how to stay. So I ended up coming back and now I just reminisce.
Oh, wow.
Instead. So yeah, I haven't been back for a while. Like I have a few friends there. I haven't been able to visit them. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping to go back eventually. When I do, I'll come and say hey.
Yes. I want to come to the UK. Like I did correspondent work out there for a show called Noni Chat for a couple of months. I was a culture correspondent for them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always wanted to go to London, and that's on my radar for probably 2026. I hope
Oh,
because they have a
exciting.
huge vegan space out there, and my goal is to um I'm doing a show called Beyond the Plate, and it's my creation, and I want to show like how the lifestyle really is in different spaces,
Okay.
because I think that the more that people know the options, that will be more of a welcome than someone telling them that, oh, if you ate, dairy, give me your vegan card.
Yeah.
Because I believe you can become vegan through different ways. So if you don't want to necessarily give up your food right now, you can become vegan through your skincare. You can become vegan through your household. You
Yeah.
can become vegan in your fashion. There's recycling, there's, sustainability, all those different things. So I advocate for different avenues for crossing over, because I interviewed I forgot what her name is. Surviving Vegan, that's her name. And she really made it stick for me, because I asked her, I said, why do you think it's so hard for people to cross over, to the green side, and or to let go of their food?
Yeah.
Because I'm considered southern, so that's mac and cheese, that's pig feet, that's chitlins, that's fried chicken, that's collard greens, that's neck bones, that's
Yeah.
all of those different things. And the thing that she said to me was, when you are telling someone to give up the mac and cheese, it's not about the food. It's about the memories. It's about the traditions. It's about the lifestyle that
Yeah, it's
surrounded
familiarity,
that
some of it, isn't it?
food.
Yeah.
Because when we think about mac and cheese, we think about um homecoming, we think about funerals, we think about family reunions, we think about Mima or Mama or Grandma in the kitchen making up that cheesy, gooey,
Yeah.
situation. And when you're telling someone that, oh, you can't have that anymore, they're saying, so that means I can't have my grandma no more, or
Yeah.
what she was for our family. So that's what I think people need to take in consideration, that, some people can jump out the window. Some people can say, I'm done.
Yeah.
Cause like with my aunt, she smoked cigarettes for, I think, almost 30 years. And one morning she woke up and was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
And that was it. And some people can do that. But when you're telling someone to do a lifestyle change, that's almost like, when you're ready to go to the gym, it's a lifestyle change, because before you were thinking about going to the gym, you wasn't going to the gym. You
Yeah.
was going out, hanging out, doing whatever you came to do. But then when you decide that that's what you got to do, now you have to rearrange your schedule. Now I got to get workout
Yeah.
gear. Now
Change all your priorities. Yeah.
I got to prioritize this. And some people don't want to do that. And I was listening to an audiobook, and they were saying that when someone says, I can't do that, change the wording, as in, I just don't feel like that's a priority.
Yeah.
And when you say that, then it gets you to thinking, well, why don't I think it's a priority?
Yeah.
Versus saying I can't or I don't want to. It's
I
like,
like that. That's a
why
good
don't,
little tip.
yeah, why don't I? What else am
Yeah.
I doing? It's 24 hours in a day.
Yeah. And we
You
all
sit
have
up
the
there,
same time.
and so same with our lifestyle. I think people should give people grace about it, and to make it feel more welcoming. And
Yeah.
that's what I love about how I decided that I wanted to show up in this space. I interview different people. I want people to know people's different journeys, because it's not a one-stop shop.
No.
Two, I want people to see how, their journey might be this, but maybe I could take some tips from their journey and incorporate it into mine. And then I have my own customized
Yeah.
journey on how I got here.
Yeah, and everyone reaches it in different ways, don't they? It's like even,
Yeah.
even when you speak to like hardcore vegans, sometimes they're like, there's a transition there somewhere. Like for me, like I'm very like I've been told many times that I'm the strictest vegan people know. But I had a transition here. Like for
Right.
me, it started out like I went vegetarian first, and it was for ethical reasons because I didn't know what went on in the dairy industry, and I was also terrified of food. Like when I went vegetarian, I was like scared of vegetables. Like I didn't know how to cook. Like I had all of these weird like subconscious beliefs around food and stuff. So it was really hard for me. And I was the vegetarian, didn't like vegetables, and I got ripped to shreds all the time for it. And then but I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like the feeling was too strong for me. So I just would have like I pretty much lived on potatoes for a while because I didn't really know what else to eat. Like, and I didn't have enough support from my family, and I was
Right.
young, so I had to sort of figure it out on my own, and that's the only thing I, knew really how to make. So I had very limited resources, and then,
Wow.
um, and then I went backwards at one point and went to being a pescatarian. And then I suddenly made this like really deep connection to fish. And I was like, okay, no, I can't have, no, I'm never doing that again. And then even when I went to like veganism, for me, I actually started with health because I lived in America and there was a family I lived with and they had cheese like a hell of a lot. Like they lived on the Kraft mac and cheese and pizzas like a lot. And I had not consumed that much dairy before, and I felt like crap. And I was like, I am not, I was like, I'm really sorry, but I can't live on this anymore. Like that's doesn't work for me. Like I feel so lethargic all the time and it's just like, no, this is not good for me. So I cut out dairy, which was something I never thought in a million years I would ever be able to do because it just made me feel bad.
Right.
And then I met a pescatarian, and she introduced me to a load of plant-based restaurants. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I can like vegetables. And like it just opened my world. I was
Right.
still vegetarian at the time, but when I went back to England afterwards, I was really like, I feel quite strongly that I can be vegan and I should be vegan, but I didn't really know why. Like there was just this thing in my voice saying like, this is who you should, like, this is how you should live your life. So then I did a bit of like exploration in it. Like I went once a week just having plant-based stuff and I struggled like and then I found some support and the second I found support I went like that. Like there were still things that I was going to slowly transition out. So like eggs and honey. Like when I first went vegan, like I was intending still to have my mum had chickens and I was like, well, as an exception for a while, I can just still have my mum's chickens, eggs. And I'm still gonna have honey. But like the second that I had that support, I went to like a workshop. I just didn't want it anymore. There was something in me that's like, no, this is not right. Like, and I just cut it all out just like that. And it was the
Mm.
missing element for me was the support. That was the thing that stopped me. Because I remember even when I was like 12, suddenly thinking, I need to go vegan. I didn't even know what vegan was then. I was like, but there was something in me going, you should be like, I need to be vegan, but I was terrified of it. So like, and yeah, I'm a very strong advocate for veganism now, so we've all had, the little transitions. There's all been seeds that have been planted to get us there in the first place. So I hear you. Like, yeah, it's important, and psychology and the way our brains work, we associate, like you say, like the food with memories and even like as who we are as a person. Like the whole idea of like if I'm eating animals and that's wrong, that makes me wrong. Like that seems to be the way our brains work. But it's not the case, but it's how we've been conditioned, I guess, over the years. So it's
Right.
a very complicated thing, isn't it? It's very complex, which is why I think it's so important to talk about it, you know?
Right. Because same way with to touch on psychological, the psychological aspect of it is because people don't know that the way that we eat food is psychological. They don't put those two together
Yeah,
because, you know, what would make you wake up in the morning and be like, oh, I'm about to eat some chitlins,
yeah,
or oh, I'm about to eat this flesh.
yeah,
No, a lot of different, and depending on where you're from, the way that you eat was survival because you came from somewhere that came with, the fresh fruits and vegetables and all this other stuff, and then you're transported to another space where all you have in order to survive is scraps.
yeah,
So you make do, and then you pass that on generation to generation to generation, but then you also um pass on diseases. You also pass on not being healthy or making, better choices for your life. And I'm not just taking for food, I'm talking about as a whole,
yeah, everything.
because, and I'll use finances. Some people are taught finances. So you can see how they have a good relationship with money.
Yeah,
But then you can look at other people and they never have that conversation and you see their relationship with money. And that's the same thing with food.
yeah,
In my household, we were not taught. We ate vegetables. Like it was never a time where I didn't have vegetables, but it wasn't like, oh, Whole Foods. Like I was eating fried chicken, fried fish, fish sandwiches, macaroni and cheese, potato salad. Like it was just so much going on, and we didn't know portion control either. It
yeah,
was like, oh, we eating. But then later on, when you are exposed to other people who don't do that, then it makes you step back and be like, wait a minute, why
Yeah.
was I doing that?
Yeah.
You know, but you only know what you're taught, and you only know what you're wanting to learn.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so powerful. I want to go back a little bit on because you said I normally ask the question, what did you struggle to give up most? And you mentioned that you struggled to give up fish. So I'm just curious to know, like, how did you like overcome that? What were your things that helped you just
Well,
persevere, I guess?
for me, it was more so like it just didn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because I was eating oysters and shrimp and things of that nature when I was here in New York. And when I first got here, you know, you eat oysters and you're froze and you're being cute and you're doing all this other stuff. But it was just it in this lifestyle, you grow into things you used to do, you just wake up all of a sudden and be like, I don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
You know, because it really defeated a purpose. If I was really trying to, you know, be in a space where I am being intentional with what I'm eating, being intentional with what I'm putting in my brain and all those other different things, I had to, you know, I'm a firm believer in having conversations with yourself, because you can ask people all day long about what's going on and their opinions about it. But I'm a firm believer in doing check-ins with myself.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where it was just like, well, you are really trying to be vegan. You're really trying to like step it up and be, you know, whole food based, you know, no suffering and things of that nature. And, you know, with different things that would come out about, you know, different meat products, because every time I turn around, somebody's popping up talking about, oh, it's an outbreak because it was this and it was this. I never hear about those things dealing with vegetables. So I just, you know, slowly but surely, I just stopped. And you know, I love salmon. Like salmon, hate to see me coming because I was, oh, love salmon, love tilapia. I loved all that stuff, but it just gets to a point where you're just like, you know, how is this benefiting me in the person that I'm trying to become or I'm
Yeah.
becoming?
That's an
So
important question.
I
How does
never
it benefit me?
really
Yeah.
I never really have one of those situations where, oh my God, I could never. Like I never say I could never when it's dealing with choices that's going to make me better. You know what I'm saying? And I don't even think I even really use that in my vocabulary as in I could never,
Yeah.
because you very much could never. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it was more so, you know, I was building I this is before I started building because my brand is only 5 years old. I started it, I really went hardcore when COVID hit us.
Yeah.
Um, but I just wanted to show up different. That's basically the gist of it. I just wanted to show up different. I wanted to, you know, I just wanted to be, you know, an asset to my community or to the communities where, you know, I'm showing you how lit it is. So you don't never have to be like, oh, I'm missing out. I'm this, da, 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 da.
Yeah.
No. Mm-mm. Over here, we have a good time.
Yeah.
You know, that's and I think that has been very receptive, um as far as how I'm showing up in this space. So
Yeah, I love that. I love your energy. Like it's very refreshing
mm,
to see. Yeah. And yeah, it sounds like an amazing thing that you're doing and yeah, in your business and
yeah, so you know, I just want people to know that, you know, anything you can do, I can do it vegan. So I feel better. And people ask me that because even when I was eating meat, I didn't feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I didn't feel like, oh my God, I just feel so da 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 da,
yeah,
because I didn't know what feeling
anything else that
bad
you like.
was. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? If
Yeah.
that's the best way to say it. But I do see a difference because I look back on my pictures and I'd be like, oh damn, what the fuck was going on?
Yeah.
You know? And it wasn't bad, but you can see the difference. Like
Yeah.
if you know what good looks like versus crazy, you can see the difference and nobody have to tell you what the difference is.
Yeah.
But for me, I feel more crossing over made me more passionate about showing up. Crossing over for me made me more aware of who I am and who I want to be. And crossing over just made sense.
Yeah, that
Like I
makes
could
sense.
never be one of those people who are like, oh yeah, I was over there. And because I don't have no desire to be like, oh, let me go get a hamburger when I can make my own hamburger, or I can go to a vegan spot that has a hamburger and will still give me the same feeling as if I was eating something else.
Yeah.
So I don't miss it like that. I don't have, daydreams of, oh, maybe I should, get me some shrimp or stuff like, because we have vegan shrimp and salmon and all that stuff over here. But when I'm out and about, I want homemade, that you put thought into what you're serving me.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
don't go
Yeah.
to the go to and be like, oh, let me get the chunk steak sandwich because I miss having meat.
Yeah.
No, I want the vegetable, I want the curries, I want the sauces, I want all of that, you know. So
You want all the flavors and all the goodness and all the
yes, I
medicine.
want the goodness. I don't want
Yeah.
to. I don't want something that emulates steak or shrimp or something like that. Now I'll eat it if it's an appetizer or something like that. But when I go out to eat, 9 times out of 10, if even if it's all vegan, I steer away from the ones that have incorporated the faux meats in it,
Yeah.
because I tell people like veganism is like high school. Freshman year, you're doing all the faux meats and you're carrying on. And yes, I need my Morning Star and all of that. I'm vegan. And then sophomore year, you're limiting. You're pulling back a little bit and you're getting more into Whole Foods. Junior year, you're Whole Foods and maybe every blue moon you're maybe eating faux meats. And then senior year, you're like, I'm good on the folk meats, and you're learning more about herbs and wanting to grow stuff and
Yeah.
all that other business. So
Widening your horizons.
yeah, 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 yeah. Because you know, once you grow into it, you'll be like, oh, I'd rather have vegetables. I'd
Yeah.
rather, do that. So
I do notice for sure, like when I gave up dairy, like I ironically, like people look at the USA as like a very highly processed kind of
oh
place.
yeah,
When I lived in America, I actually probably ate the best I've ever eaten. Like still to this day, like I had
really,
much better, yeah. So I'm very sensitive to like tastes and textures and stuff. And like one problem I have here, I find it very difficult to find fresh food that I actually like. Whereas in America, I liked everything. Like
it's
there was nothing.
trickery.
Yeah, I know.
It's trickery because I lived half my life in Germany,
Yeah,
and the food. When I say some of the food that we have over here is banned overseas,
yeah,
and that's crazy.
I know.
That's the craziest thing. Like I think our ketchup is banned.
Yeah,
I mean, just stuff that we be like, oh yeah, let me. Over there, they're like, no, ma'am,
yeah. But it's just
no,
yeah,
ma'am.
it blew my mind because I was kind of like, yeah, I've never eaten so many fruits and vegetables as I did when I was in America.
Oh
Like,
wow. Well, you don't
and
live near a farmer's market.
no, like that we do have like we have one in my town, but it's not good.
You don't
Like
have a grocery store.
it just doesn't taste good to me.
Y'all don't have
I can't
farmers
even
out
explain
there.
it. Like I'm so fussy with like fresh fruits and veg and it just doesn't taste right to me. Like
Really?
yeah, like there's one place where my mum lives in the summer, their strawberries are like and cherries are divine. Like so every year I make sure I go there as much as I possibly can because it makes me want to eat it all the time. But if I were to go to the shop and just go buy the same thing, it's disgusting to me.
So why did you move to where you live at versus being closer to spaces that adapt to
So
the lifestyles you live in?
I didn't really have much choice when I first moved here.
Understood. Okay.
So, but I really love the vibe in this city. So, and where my mum lives, like as I said, it's only like a summer thing, and she lives in the middle of nowhere. I don't have a car, so
Okay.
like for
You
me,
have to be
yeah,
where transportation is.
yeah, literally. So
Got you.
eventually, I'm gonna get out there somewhere to make sure I find somewhere that actually fits what I want to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a for right now, like it's an experimentation stuff. Like vegetables is not so bad, it's the fruits for me. Like I can deal with vegetables and it's just getting into new habits, I guess,
Right.
of continuing and learning how to cook stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm
It's
getting there
definitely
though,
that.
getting there slowly.
Yes.
And talking to people like you would definitely help. Like I feel quite inspired.
Good.
So yeah,
That's why I'm here, girl.
yeah. So I appreciate that.
No
Right.
worries.
I am conscious we've been yapping for a long time. So is there anything else you want to add before I close off? Like any
Well, I just want to say thank you for even wanting to talk to me. I'm always appreciative because um operating in this space, it's challenging, but it's also rewarding at the same time because people are slowly but surely having more of an open mind. But I just want people to understand that lifestyle changes is all about finding your why and being intentional about it.
yeah, I
And
love that.
if you are not, if you're having um I guess difficulty crossing over to the green side, find out the reasons why you really want to do it, because if you really, people don't put energy into anything that they really don't want to do. This is not a space where you're just doing it because it's a fad or doing
Yeah,
it because it's a Tuesday. It's a lifestyle where you are understanding that you don't want to be part of any kind of suffering. And once that locks in, crossing over will be so much easier. But the number one thing is finding your why you really want to do it. Because once you find your why, you won't have any excuses.
yeah, I love that. Like it's just making me laugh because like so many questions that I normally ask, you're just answering them naturally. Like my final question is what one piece of advice would you give somebody? And you've just answered it without me even asking. You've done that a
It's
lot. Can tell you're a journalist. But yeah, so thank you for that. I've really enjoyed having a chat with you. It's been fun.
true. I
Very
appreciate it.
insightful.
I really appreciate it. This is so dope.
So, to as a final thing, if like our viewers want to get in touch with you, you've mentioned your business. How can people get in touch?
Well, you can follow me on all my socials, Vegan Pop Eats. You can Google me, Vegan Pop Eats, it'll pop right on up. Yeah. My website is www.veganpopeats.com. Um, I came up with the name. It came to me in a dream.
Nice.
And, I love being vegan. I love pop culture and I love to eat. So that's what it all came to. And yeah, you can find me. You can find me. I ain't hard to find.
Nice. So what social medias platforms are you on?
I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Threads, and I'm on X
Okay, good to know.
or Twitter.
Twitter. Okay. Yeah, that's what it used to be called, isn't it?
Yes,
That's
that's when
it.
it was lit. But Threads is more lit than Twitter. So I'm on Threads, I'm on YouTube, I'm on TikTok. Um, but yeah, I'm everywhere.
Awesome. Good to know. Well, thank you again so much for sharing your journey.
No
Uh,
worries.
yeah, it's been really fun hearing your story and yeah, your words of wisdom throughout. And
Yes.
I hope everyone else has enjoyed it as much as I have. And yeah, I just want to say thank you to my viewers for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, if you want to reach out to Angela, then there's all the contact details. I'll put a little bio underneath as I normally do. And yeah, just sending much love and hugs to you all.
Bye.